Good day, and welcome to the presentation of LITESTAR 4D file OXL. XML files, the future of data interchange files. What's now available in the market? The LDT and IS text files. Photometric data are transferred nowadays from one lighting design application to another by means of text files such as ULUM with extension LDT, IS files, CTM14, the British format, CIE 102, LTLI, the Scandinavian format, and other minor formats. These files have a significant limitation, that of having the several different fields linked to specific positions that limit their expansibility. Therefore, these files offer little flexibility and are also exclusively limited to the photometric data and simple information regarding the product and the lamps. You have here an example of a text file, a ULUM file, where you can see that all the information are vertically saved at the file, and any field has a specific position. If you save this file with this information not at the proper line but one below or one under, then the file won't work properly. The new requirements, photometries, but also images, datasheets. Nowadays, the market requires the management of a higher amount of data within the same interchange file, such as images, 3D product file, technical sheet, instruction sheets, all that which the LDT, IS text files are no longer capable of managing. The future, at least from our point of view. The XML files. The XML files, so the XML means the acronym of Extensible Markup Language, which is a meta markup language or a markup language that defines a syntactical mechanism that allows the managing the meaning of other markup languages to be extended or controlled. It is quite a complex definition of the XML files, but it will be clearer in a few minutes what it means. So, the XML files were introduced at the time of the competition for the control of the network between Netscape and MS Explorer to define a common standard and guarantee a successive evolution. But let's spend a few seconds about the history of the XML file. The XML language was introduced in February 1998 by the W3C, the World Wide Web Consortium, following the browser war. That is, the situation encountered in the 90s where Microsoft and Netscape introduced a proprietary extension to the official HTML standard with each new version of its browser. It soon became obvious that XML was not just restricted to the web context, but it was something more. An instrument that could be used in several different contexts, from the definition of the structure of documents to the exchange of information among different systems, as well as to the image representation, not to mention the definition of data formats, like what we need now. So, at the beginning, the idea was just to solve and to define a standard in between Netscape and Explorer, but then what was found at the end was something very powerful that could be used in many different applications. The XML files characteristics. The main characteristics of XML files are the nested structure, the tags, and I like to add the extremely expansibility level. It means that these files have the great advantage that you can define what you need, but in a second step you can add to the older file, you can add more information about new data you need for the new applications without changing what was already available before. In this way, the file can grow and satisfy different needs and adapt it to the different situations. The nested structure. Here we have an example at the image where we manage an address. So we have an example of a nested structure. In here, we open the field address and we close the field, and in between we have the different tags describing the different parameters, like in this case the name of the guy, where he lives, the street, the town, the postcode, and the country. So at any line, at any parameter, we have a tag opening the parameter and closing the parameter. This is a huge advantage compared to the old LDT or IS files, where any parameter was linked, strictly linked to a defined position. In this case, we can write this parameter at this line, but it is just the same if we write the same parameter even at any other position, in this case within the nested structure. It means that we are no more linked to not so flexible structures like the LDT and IS files, but we are free to manage what we need and when we need it. The XML files, where are they used? Such technology is found nowadays in many different applications, as can be credit cards. So any transaction when you use your credit card is managed through XML files. Also bank transactions. Also data exchange among different databases from technical, commercial point of view. More and more they are managed through XML files. Oxitec, on their part, have taken advantage of the XML technology to develop a new format file known as OXL, or over here also called LITESTAR, so the package of the information related to the product managing light, useful to manage the data regarding the luminaires like datasheet, photometry, 3D file, accessory documents. You have here an example of the OXL file. You can see that we open, in this case, a product identity. We open a nested structure. We close it here, and in between we have another nested structure where we have the manufacturer name, the code, and the short name. This short name is used at LITESTAR 4D as the name of the folder where all information will be saved. Then we have other information. In here we have the identity of the manufacturer and of the product, and below here we have all other information like the luminaire, the photometry, the datasheet, the 3D file, and the accessory documents, like could be, for example, PDF files, the instruction leaflet, or whatever, a certification. So you can add to the OXL file all what you really need and have all the information packed at the same file. OXL, open format. The OXL is an open data format whose specifications are available in the Software LITESTAR 4D section of WebOxy. So up to when this information will be available as soon as we finish the webinars today. So tomorrow you can access this page and find the format, the OXL format available. So this is our strategy. We want to have this format or an evolution in case a standard will be available in a short time, available to anybody, exactly at the same level like the ULUM.dat or AIS files are available to anybody. So these files could be used with LITESTAR 4D, our program, lighting design system, but also with other applications. And so the OXL file is really a data interchange file for different applications. Let's say that it is the same like the LDT files or IS files used with lighting applications, or also used with CAD applications like with the 3D Max, where we can consider 3D Max as not properly a lighting design software. So, how can we use the OXL file? LITESTAR 4D LightCalc. LightCalc is the design module of the program of LITESTAR 4D. It is possible to insert an OXL file by means of drag and drop directly into the working plane of LightCalc. So if we have an external folder where all the OXL are available, we simply drag and drop this file into here, and if the file has the 3D and obviously the photometry, it will be automatically visualized at the working plane of LITESTAR, simply with a drag and drop operation. But LISWIN, these are the two modules managing and browsing the catalog, the interactive catalog of LITESTAR 4D. It is possible to import an OXL file straight into the LITESTAR 4D database and make it immediately available in LISWIN, the interactive electronic catalog. In this way, it is not yet possible to do the drag and drop. So we have to open LISTSTAT, the catalog data manager. We have to select LightPack import or OXL import. It will automatically open the folder where you have the OXL files available. You select the one or more OXL files, you confirm, and the files will be automatically imported into the database, the program database, and then straight away available through LISWIN, the catalog browser over here. One main point should be underlined, that these files are coming from manufacturers, so they are in principle protected. When they are supplied by manufacturers using our system, it is much easier to use the web catalog and use the features, the automatic features of importing files into the database of the program, and not asking the manufacturer to supply the OXL file, because the drag and drop done through the program, through LITESTAR 4D, is managing directly the OXL file, and it will be automatically placed at the manufacturer proper folder. So in this case, the OXL is used when somebody is not using LITESTAR 4D as a main lighting design program. Photo view. It is possible to insert an OXL file by using drag and drop directly into photo view for the analysis of photometric data. Exactly in the same way you open the photo view module, You drag and drop the information from here into here, and it will be automatically available for photometric analysis from many different points of view. From CAD systems there are plenty of possibilities for the use of the OXL files that range from CAD system for every single application, for example, electrical CAD system, lighting design CAD system, to websites. So, having the OXL in open format, it will be possible for different software developers to use the OXL also for their applications. Over here in Italy, we are now testing what we set up to now with a company managing an electrical CAD system. So we simply select the product and we drag and drop it into the CAD system. And all the information coming from the image to the technical information related to the product are straight away available through the system. But how can we create OXL files? There are two different ways based on LITESTAR 4D. PhotoView. PhotoView allows nowadays to import LDT, IS, TM14, LTLI, or CIE files and automatically convert them into OXL format. Let's say that it is also possible to import files coming directly from the gonios, the gonio photometers. So after finishing a measurement, you can straight away open it through the PhotoView and then export it into the OXL format. In this case, the files will contain only photometric information. So there is no way through PhotoView to manage also the product image, to manage the datasheet, etc., which is managed with the next program called LISWIN. LISWIN allows to automatically create the OXL files by exporting the available data within the LITESTAR 4D database. So if the product was created using the LISTAT, so it is available at the program database, it is then possible to export all the information, the available information, into an OXL, which we call it a complete OXL file, which means that it is including photometry, it is including the 3D file, and all the commercial information, the code, etc., and also the attached documents. But as we said, being the OXL an open format, which means that it can be created by making use of queries that will be then be applied, for instance, to a company's database. It means that more and more manufacturers have now a mega database where all information related to the products are stored. So it could be possible to export those information through proper queries into the OXL format and then supply the OXL format to the market. Let's come now to the demonstration of the different features we mentioned up to now. So, this is the working plane of LITESTAR 4D LightCalc. We open a folder where we know that we stored the information, the photometries. So we select photometries, we select the OXL format, and from here we drag and drop this file into here. So this is a luminaire with a 3D and a photometry. It doesn't have, in this case, all the information related to the product, like the image, like a datasheet. But in this way, it is also possible to manage the luminary. So if we simply need to manage the luminary without the related information and use it straight away into a lighting design, then we do in this way. Let's say that if we repeat the same operation also for an ULUM.dat file, we will see the big difference between a ULUM.dat file and an OXL file. So with the ULUM.dat file, not having the possibility to include a 3D, the 3D shape, the 3D volume of the product, we will have only a simple bounding box. While in this case, we have the 3D and its photometry all together. So from here, we select, for example, a cube. We place it at the proper position. We select the luminary and we place it at the proper position. That's it. From here, we can start the calculation. Let's see now how we can import a complete OXL file into the program database. As we said, we have to select the catalog data management module called LITESTAR. We select automatic import. We select the manufacturer of interest. We select LightPack import or OXL import. We have to select where the files were loaded, photometries, OXL. This is a complete OXL file. We select it. We may select even more files. We confirm. We import. Once the product was saved, we can close it, and the product will be available at this level for different applications. So, for example, we can drag and drop the image into LightCalc. In this way, we can go back to LISWIN and visualize the datasheet. I'd like to tell you and change in case the template and also had the image, the photometry. I'd like to tell you that up to now I didn't have to even touch the keyboard, and I'm doing all the operation simply using my mouse. So I close it, and in this case also the document is available, the mounting instruction or the instruction leaflet. We open it, still simply using the mouse. Let's jump now into the photo view, how we can manage the OXL file into the photo view. So we open photo view, we go back to the OXL folder, and we simply drag and drop this information into here. And that's it. And from here we can analyze the photometry from many different points of view. Okay. Let's come now to the generation of the OXL files. So we said that it is possible to create OXL file using photo view. In this case, we have different ways of creating the files. Usually, if we have ULUM.dat files, so we open the ULUM.dat folder, we select the photometry, we drag and drop it into the photo view, and simply select the file, save as. We may save into different formats, including also the OXL. So in this case, we select C, program files, photometries, and we select UNDAT, and the file will be available here. So it was simply saved. So let's say that during the import, we found that some information are missing. So in this case, the photo cell was not input at the beginning. So we had the information. We may had the information of the operator. We may change also other information. We may have notes. We save again the file. We replace it. So now if we import an OXL file, all the added information are now available. So I can use the OXL file also in order to manage more information than the ones that I can manage through standard photometric files. But in any case, the OXL file we created is simply a photometric file. It doesn't have any 3D volume of the luminaire. It doesn't have any added information like the datasheet or the images. How can we manage it now? So let's say that using the LITESTAR, we created a product. Let's say that we created this product. Okay? So we added here general data, so the description into different languages, the code, the product type, dimension, volume, etc., the EN code, the application, etc. Then we added the electrical parameters, mechanical parameters, photometric parameters. So we linked here the photometry. We may also link the photometry we created a few seconds ago. Then we had norms and marks. We had the images, the linked documents, and the information, a spec about the luminaire in this case. Then we save it. Once the luminaire is saved, and it is at this level, it is now possible to export the file into an OXL file, a complete OXL file. So we select OXC, this icon. We have to select the file. We have to add it to the list. And once we completed the list, we select this icon in order to export to the location I want to. So if we select this one, we select Oxitec, and we export. And the file will be exported. But let's say that we do the other way around, as we had already the chance to see. So we have to select documents, Oxitec and Oxitec, and this is the file we saved up to now. So let's edit this file. This file will have the information related to the manufacturer, the information related to the luminaire, to the lamps, to the photometry in here, and from here the mesh list, which means the 3D of the luminaire, also over here, and at the bottom we have all the information related to the surfaces, and we close the mesh section, so the 3D section, and we open the one related to the datasheet. In here we have the description into different languages of the product description into different languages, the product type into different languages, including, as you can see here, Chinese, Japanese, Korean, Russian, etc. The model and other descriptions. And in here we have the image. One of, let's say, the first image. Then we have the second image. The third, which is the RTF file, so it means the description, the product description. Another description, but in this case available into Italian. The first one was available into English, so we can manage also description into different languages. The PDF file, the instruction leaflet in this case, and we close it with the same instruction leaflet into Italian. This one was into English. And at the end we have the final data related, for example, to the lamps and other information related to the datasheet. So all information are available through this file. But what is the dimension of the file? Because this is a main point. Because if we want to transfer the information from the internet using the internet, then it cannot be too heavy. In this case, we have an information which is 1.6 thousand kilobyte, so it is 1.6 megabyte. But if we compress, if we zip this information into a single zip file, then we have a quite good dimension of 400 kilobyte over here. But I'd like to tell you that in any case, I can show you how fast it is to transfer now an information based on that dimension of 1.6 megabyte through the internet. So let's say that we delete this information, this one. So we delete. Okay, now it is no more available. Let's jump into this company's web catalog. So we jump into here. We have to select floor luminaire. We select the serpente. We select this luminaire, and we catch the image, and we drag and drop it into the application, into the LISWIN. The information was downloaded and it is already available, and from here I can, as we had a chance to see it before, visualize the datasheet into different formats, and also visualize the headed documents.